Here are three true scary stories where dreams turned into horrifying realities, captivating and eerie in equal measure. 1. The haunting of the yellow wallpaper in the late 1800s. A woman known as Charlotte Perkins Gilman suffered from a severe depressive episode. To aid her recovery, her physician husband prescribed a rest cure, confining her to a room in a rented mansion and forbidding her to write or explore the outside world. In that room, she became fixated on the yellow wallpaper that lined the walls. As nights dragged on, Charlotte began to dream vividly about the wallpaper. She envisioned a woman trapped within it, struggling to break free. The woman in the wallpaper seemed to twist and writhe, mirroring Charlotte's own feelings of confinement and despair. At first, it filled her with dread, but as she immersed herself deeper into this world, she developed an obsession. She gradually convinced herself that she needed to help the woman escape. As her mental state deteriorated, Charlotte began to scratch at the wallpaper, attempting to peel it away to liberate the figure she believed was trapped inside. Her dreams turned into a desperate reality as she stayed awake for days, fueled by the vision of the woman. Until one night she ripped the last pieces off the wall, exposing the bare wood beneath. When her husband returned, he found Charlotte in a frenzied state, crawling along the floor and insisting that the woman had finally escaped. In a moment of chilling realization, she had become one with her nightmare. Her harrowing experience echoed the struggles women faced with oppressive societal norms. This story reflects the harrowing truth that dreams don't just fade away. Sometimes they manifest terrifyingly into reality. 2. The foretelling nightmare. In 1940s Pennsylvania, a woman named Mary had a frightening dream. In her dream, she saw her younger brother walking down a road, laughing and carefree, when suddenly he was hit by a truck. She awoke in a sweat, her heart racing. Disturbed by the vividness of her nightmare, she immediately called her brother, urging him to be careful and to avoid that particular road. He laughed it off, insisting that it was just a silly dream. Days passed, and Mary couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom. One afternoon, she received a phone call from a neighbor, telling her that her brother had been in an accident. Cold dread washed over her as she learned that he had been walking home from a friend, his house, and had indeed been struck by a truck on the very road she had seen in her dream. Mary rushed to the hospital, her heart pounding in her chest. Fortunately, her brother survived the accident, but he suffered severe injuries that would haunt him for the rest of his life. While he recovered, Mary couldn't help but think that her dream had somehow warned her, and a chilling reminder that our subconscious can tap into the unknown, revealing truths better left unimagined. 3. The woman in the red dress in the early 2000s. A young college student named Sarah began having recurring dreams about a woman in a red dress. In her nightmares, the woman would stand at the foot of her bed, staring with hollow eyes and a sad expression. Night after night, Sarah awoke trembling, drenched in sweat, feeling as if she were being watched. She attempted to ignore it, writing it off as just a dream. One late summer evening, Sarah and her friends decided to go out to a nearby club. As they danced and laughed, she suddenly felt a chill creep down her spine. Turning around, she froze. The same woman in the red dress was standing just a few feet away, her eyes locking onto Sarah's with a piercing intensity. Confused and terrified, Sarah backed away, trying to convince herself it was just a hallucination. But as she turned to leave, the woman seemed to follow her every move, her haunting gaze never wavering. In the following days, Sarah's dreams intensified. She would wake up screaming, gasping for air, with the image of the woman still burned into her mind. Was the woman trying to tell her something? Was she warning her of danger? Just days later, Sarah received a phone call that chilled her to the bone. Her college roommate had been involved in a car accident. Tragically, she was in critical condition. Rushing to the hospital, the realization hit Sarah that her roommate had been wearing a red dress. That night out, the same shade as the woman from her dreams. The horror of her encounters slowly combined into an unbearable weight, leading Sarah to question whether her visions had been a premonition or a malevolent warning of tragedy yet to unfold. The dreams had become a terrifying reflection of reality, marking the thin line between the two worlds.